Hello students and welcome back. Today in this module we'll be studying a very important component of the marketing mix, which is called pricing. Okay. The learning objectives. Let's see, from today's module we will understand what we mean by the term pricing. We will also talk about various factors that influence pricing for an organization. These factors are internal factors and external factors that would be spoken at length. And finally, we will conclude this module with various important methods that are used in pricing services. Okay, students, so let's see what is the meaning of price. Well, price is the amount of money that we charge for any product, be it goods or service. Now, as we are talking about prices, what are the various examples for which we charge service? Examples are, we charge rent for an apartment, we charge a room rate or a tariff for a stay in the hotel, a package for a holiday, for a train or a bus ride, the service charge is ticket. Similarly, the charge is called fees for a college or a school. For a nightclub, it's called a cover charge. The pricing for a club or gym is called a membership. Bank services are charges. Similarly, an insurance, the price for it is called as a premium that the customers charge for. So these were the various names of the prices that various services command. I hope the meaning is clear as far as what is pricing and what are the different names for pricing of various different services. Moving forward, it's very important for us to know that price is a very important part of the marketing mix. It is a part of the product marketing mix, both for goods and for services. So price is an important component. We also know that price is the only component of the marketing mix which actually gets us the revenue, whereas all other P's are usually cost centers. So pricing becomes very important because this is the only P in the marketing mix which is going to get us the revenue for the organization, the reason why a particular business exists. Care also has to be taken that we don't overprice or underprice our product. So right pricing is very important as part of the marketing mix. Whenever we overprice a product, it adversely affects our business because we might lose customers, especially if the demand is highly elastic. Similarly, if we underprice our product that we are selling, then we will not optimize our revenue. So pricing is an important, severely important component of the marketing mix, is what we've studied and what we know. Now going further, when we talk about various pricing decisions, now pricing decisions are very important decisions taken by the marketing. Whenever we talk about pricing our product, goods or services, there are various factors that influence the actual decision of pricing. Now, before we actually talk about these factors, please understand that these factors are broadly divided into internal factors and external factors of pricing. Internal factors of pricing, when we speak about, would be those factors which are prevalent within the organizations. These are within the organizations any factors that are going to influence the pricing decision. Likewise, when we talk about the external factors, refer to those factors that exist outside the organization, but they have an impact on the pricing of the particular product. Now, individually, we will be studying all the various factors internal and all the various factors external which influence the pricing decision for a goods or services. Well, First, we will begin with the internal factors. The first internal factor that we speak about is the marketing objectives. Now, marketing objectives are basically whenever an organization is driven by the marketing function, they have certain objectives in mind. Based on these objectives, strategies are formulated, and these strategies have pricing as part of the decision. Now, what could be these strategies for pricing? One is if the business wants to only survive. If the objective of marketing is to survive, then definitely you would want to give low prices just about to cover costs and be in the business. Okay, if the organization is operating in conditions where it's doing very well and it wants to maximize the profit, then the pricing will be taken accordingly. Similarly, market share leadership is when you provide low prices in order to become the market leader. So your volume of sales becomes important. In that case, you might want to lower the pricing. And the last is whenever there is a quality leadership, if you want to be the best in the market, if you want to, if your branding is known for the most premium product or the most quality product, or if you are a prestige goods, in that case your pricing will be very high. Okay, so you have to keep your marketing objectives in mind. What is it that you are looking from your product, how you are going to brand your product, how you're going to position your product in the market, based on which you will strategize, and part of that will reflect in your pricing as well. The next internal factor that we will speak about is your marketing mix. Well, one must understand that when we're talking about the marketing mix for goods, there are 4 P's, and for services, there are 7 P's, which we already know. And one of the P's in the marketing mix is pricing. Well, important thing to know is whenever we make any change in any of the P, it will have also an effect on the other remaining P's of the marketing mix. Yes, so you have to price, so your pricing, which is a very important decision for your product, whatever pricing you do will also have a reflection on the remaining 6 P's for servicing. Similarly, if you change any of the other P component of the marketing mix, that will also have an impact on the price. Yes, so one has to be very careful when you are pricing, very careful when you are in fact making any changes with any P, because it is going to impact the price and vice versa. Since we also know that pricing is the only revenue earning P, since we also know that price is going to get us revenues, it becomes very important that we fix the pricing component first and then we work on the remaining P's. Okay, so it's very important that we do that. The third factor is internal factor. Internal factor when we talk about is the cost. Now what are costs? Costs are basically the cost price of the product. What are the costs that are incurred in order to create the product for sale? Yes, so definitely the first thing that you keep in mind is that you keep the cost low so that you earn more profits and you can price your product accordingly. So costs have to be known, they have to be projected. Cost cannot really be very high. If you have wastage, expenditure, pilferage, breakage, it will add to the cost and that will have a bearing on the price. And depending upon the price, your market share, your volume sales will matter. So the idea here is, one, consider your cost when you're pricing. Keep your cost at the minimum, lowest possible. At the same time, it's very important that you will not compromise the cost, compromise the quality to keep the cost down. So costs have to be down, but the quality has to be good. You can't compromise the quality so as to reduce the costs. Okay, so costs have to be borne in mind depending upon what it is costing you, you will price your product accordingly. So that is an important factor internally one can control. Now price is basically cost plus profit equals to selling price that we already know. Costs are comprised about costs comprise of fixed costs and variable costs and semi-variable costs, and costs have to be controlled in order to price the product competitively and in order to milk profits. So these factors we've spoken so far, and the last internal factor is any objective of the organization. We've spoken about the cost objective, we've spoken about marketing objective. Here in this case we're talking about some objective that the management may have in mind, keeping in mind the philosophy of the organization, which might impact the pricing of the product. For example, Nano. We all know Tata Nano car, when it was first launched, it took like a decade for the car to evolve in R&D, and finally we launched in the market because Ratan Tata wanted it to be the poor man's car within the budget of 1 lakh. Right, so that was the philosophy of the company based on which a particular pricing developed. Similarly, Microsoft, if they are doing something very philanthropical, in this case today we are working on MS Teams, which is given to institutions at a very economic cost in order to reach more and more students and facilitate teaching and learning. Then it's not just about the market and demand. In fact, it is also about the philosophy of the company to make education accessible. So any other objective internally that the company might think of, might want to do, and they might drive their pricing accordingly. It might or might not have any logic or numbers in mind, but only as part of their philosophy, they want to set a pricing to something. Now, the next we talk about are the external factors. In external factors, we've already spoken are the factors which basically exist outside the organization, but they impact the organization. So here, the first and foremost thing that comes to our mind is the organization is working in a market, and a market is nothing but the customer base which has a demand. So your demand for your particular commodity is very important to set the pricing. So based on this, the concept of yield management, where more the demand, pricing is also charged more. As soon as the demand goes down, then the pricing also comes down. This also has led to something called fluidity in the pricing. And nowadays that's very, very, very relevant, especially when we speak about pricing for services. Well, the relationship between the price and market and demand is very important. Yeah, so price and market. Price and market demand is, like I said, revenue management, high demand, high price, low demand, low price. Okay, it's very common for services nowadays. At the same time, we also have to see what kind of demand it is. So is the demand elastic or is it inelastic? Elastic demand means any touch with the price point will suddenly impact the demand and vice versa. For example, if you change the pricing to from 10 rupees to 50 rupees for a product which is not a necessity, which is like a chai in the canteen, what will you do? You will probably not have the chai because 50 rupees is too expensive for a cup of tea in the canteen. So here the demand is very elastic. So whenever I change the pricing, the demand will become elastic, which will mean that the demand will go up or go down depending upon the pricing. But there are few products where the demand is inelastic, which means any change in pricing will not really impact the demand for it. For example, petrol. Now we all know petrol is a necessity. Even if it is for 60 rupees or 80 rupees or it touches 90 rupees, I will still have to get my petrol consumption will not really change so much. Also in that sense it's inelastic. You'll have to see what kind of demand your product has. Service industry, hotel industry, food industry, the demand mostly is seen as pretty elastic. So whenever you have buffets which is 50% off, Independence Day celebration, you are getting one on one free. In such case, when the pricing drops, you see a huge demand. Whenever the pricing goes up, the demand also dries up. So you have to see what kind of demand elastic or inelastic. Based on that, you will keep that in mind for pricing. Second, you'll keep in mind is the demand volumes in general. Thumb rule is higher the demand, higher the price, and vice versa. With you, the first factor, external factor we spoken about is the demand, market demand, type of demand, elastic, inelastic, and we also spoke about volume of demand, high demand or low demand. The next external factor we speak about is competition. Well, it's very common. Whatever the competition is offering, you would want to have your pricing competitive. There is something called the going rate, which means for a particular product, there is one rate which is more or less fixed amongst all competitors for the product. Sometimes one particular competitor, mostly a new guy in the market, might come down with really low pricing in order to attract more customers, and that spoils the market a little bit. So competition pricing has to be kept in mind, which is the starting point or for your own pricing of the product, and called as the going rate in the market. Well, the third factor and the last factor that we will speak about is the environment. Now, the environment in the next chapter we'll be speaking about the environment in which the organization works. There is something which is called the PESTLE analysis. Yeah. Now we'll be doing PESTLE analysis in the next chapter. This talks about the various components of the environment, which is political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. Okay, so all these factors have an impact on the organization, and whenever they have an impact on the organization, that impact is reflected in the pricing as well. To give an example, my first point talks about economic factor like inflation. Yes, inflation or when everything is very expensive, your raw material is expensive, difficult to procure, supply chain is getting affected. In that case, your cost is going up for your product and you will have to price it higher. Similarly, when there is recession, in our case recession owing to lockdown or the COVID pandemic, means that people are not spending, people are losing jobs, people are insecure, they are living within their means. It has impacted their lifestyle. People are not going out, they are not eating, they are not shopping, they are not going for movies. All of that impacts on the business, and obviously during recession times you will have to price your product lower, isn't it? Political unrest, whenever there is a political unrest or there's a coup or there is some kind of instability, definitely the prices is affected. Terrorism, these are political upheavals which will impact the state and in turn will impact the economy and impact all the businesses. Government regulations, if there are certain bans for certain products, for example, we had the demonetization happened and suddenly people were not having cash, they were not spending cash, there was a gap till everything got automated and digitalized, and now you have sabzi wala, bhaji wala, fish wala, fruit wala, everyone doing electronic payments. But those government regulations initially had impacted businesses also. Yes. So all these factors, anything and everything in the environment is going to impact the organization, which in turn will have an impact on your costs also, and in turn pricing. Environment, for example, no use of plastic. So you probably will have to do material which is eco-friendly, and sometimes it's more expensive than a plastic. And then since your cost is going high to package your product, for the product to be environmentally sensitive, you might have to change the pricing also. So these are the various factors in the environment which come under PESTLE, which definitely impact the organization's operations as well as the pricing and other marketing. Okay, now students, we come to the most important part of this particular module, which is the methods of pricing a service. Okay, let's understand which are the various methods that are followed in pricing. We have so far covered the factors that influence pricing in an organization, but these methods are formula based on which you will price your product. Okay, so these methods, it's very important for you to understand and know at all times. Well, simply we will start with two broad methods in pricing. One is pricing based on cost. Pricing based on cost is very simple way of pricing. I'm sure you've done in F&B controls, for example. You will identify what expenditure is incurred in manufacturing your goods, and you will add a component of profit and you will arrive at the selling price of the product. It is very simplistic way of finding the cost and just adding a component of profit. Simple but not most desirable way of pricing. Second is pricing which is based on the market. Now, based on the market is what marketing does. Understand the dynamics of the market, and these dynamics are understood by three things. One is the demand. The nature of the demand we've spoken about. Is it elastic or inelastic demand for your product? Second, level of demand. Understand what is your demand. Is it high? Is it low? If your demand is high, revenue management, high pricing, and vice versa. And the third important element is your competition, the going rate. So these are two broad ways that you will market your product. The first one is based on costing, which is totally internal, and the second one is based on the market, which is your nature of demand, volume of demand, and the amount of competition in the market. So these two are the broad basis for following a particular method of pricing. Okay, students, now that we have done the factors that influence pricing, now we will talk about marketing strategies or pricing strategies that are followed by marketers to price their goods and services. Now here we will present to you the more important types of these pricing strategies. The first one being prestige pricing. As we all know, this kind of pricing is for prestige goods. Prestige goods are those which are usually not meant for masses. They are meant for exclusive niche top-end customers. So these are high-end brands with high-end pricing. If you in fact lower pricing, make these prices cheaper, it will lose its essence and the sales will drop. Okay, Nike is an example here as far as prestige pricing is concerned. Many top-end brands, designer brands, in watches maybe a Rolex, in cars maybe a Mercedes, any kind of collectible. All these are prestige products, and the pricing is kept very high only to appeal to a fixed customer segment, which is very limited. And if you actually lower the prices, then the market will get affected adversely. It will dilute the branding and positioning of the product, and the customers, the niche product customers will disappear. Okay, the second one that we come to is market skimming. Please remember these terms. The second pricing strategy is called as market skimming. In skimming, what is done is that the price is set high when the market is price insensitive. It's set high. Okay, and as time passes, then the price gradually goes down. So it's very important that for pharma companies, technology. So if you have an iPhone coming into the market, it works really very well. People are willing to pay that high price, the high initial price, and later on with time, the price also comes down, and the demand can go up because then there will be more number of people in the market who can then buy your product. But skimming is typically entering the market with a high price. Okay, the next one we talk about is actually the opposite of market skimming, and this is called as market penetration. So in market penetration, you basically start or introduce into the market with an initial low price. So the idea is new product, have it the lowest most that people can't say no to. So it's seen a lot in Jio. You know, we all know Reliance mobiles, when mobiles first were introduced, they were only limited to, a particular section of society. But when Reliance came with their mobile phones, everyone had a mobile phone. That was market penetration prices. Really low prices, make it affordable for everybody, capture the entire market. Okay, so that's initial low pricing to penetrate into the market to get a very, very wide market share. Okay, so that kind of pricing is penetration prices. In this strategy works because customers will switch to the new brand because of the lower price. Okay, so here we've spoken about three important strategies, which is prestige pricing, high pricing for high-end products, market skimming, which is setting a high price when you enter the market and later on reduce the price with time and increase your customer base. And the third is market penetration, where you start or launch the product with a lower. Okay, now we continue with the types of pricing, methods of pricing strategies, and here the next one we'll speak about is discriminatory pricing. Discriminatory means, as the name suggests, means that there is some kind of discrimination that happens in such kind of pricing. This discrimination means different prices are commanded of different people or at different times, isn't it? For example, segmentation. We all know that there is corporate and socials, two different segments. You want to charge them different prices. Similarly, if you have FIT and GIT, two different customer segments, you want to price it differently. Second is demand. Demand is, for example, a corporate rate, which is basically there's a high demand, so you're giving them a lower rate, a discounted rate. Similarly, based on demand, something like weekend rate and a weekday rate. When the demand is low, on the weekend, you want to do a discounted rate for the weekend. Talking about the demand, seasonal discounts. For example, places with very, very, very significant on season, off season, you will have different rates which are given during the seasons. Yeah. For example, you go to Goa in July when it rains, and you go in December when it's peak demand. The rates you will get for the same property in Goa will be different. In fact, rates also differ based on gender. Okay, for example, ladies' night, ladies free on Wednesdays, but stags are charged a cover charge of 1,000 rupees. These are again discrimination based on gender. So discriminatory pricing is prices which are different at different times for different sets of people. Okay, the next we talk about is promotional pricing. Well, promotional pricing is basically a price which is temporarily, it's to promote a product. So new product in the market, just to promote it, temporarily the price will be a little less than that of the competition, so that people would want to try the new entrant product in the market. Again, it's very useful for the hotel industry, restaurant industry, new hotels, new restaurants. They come up with offers, coupons, discounts, promotions, which are attractive, so that you would want to try them out. Okay, so the second here we spoke about is promotion. Now we talk about the next pricing strategy, which is again used very often for services like ours. It's called yield management. Yield management is actually used to maximize the yield or contribution. Contribution, like we know, is calculated as sales less the variable cost. And this margin is the basis of revenue management. It is practiced very commonly for a product like ours, services which are highly perishable. Okay, so yield management is also revenue management, and the pricing is called fluid pricing. Prices change with the changing demand. High demand, high price, low demand, low price. And this explains the airline tickets that you buy, the cinema movie tickets that you buy, hotel room that you buy for, is all a dynamics of revenue management. The next pricing we speak here is psychological pricing. Well, this is very interesting. Psychological pricing is basically reference pricing. Price that the consumer referred in their minds, and it's based on word of mouth and experience. Now let's elaborate it further. Psychological pricing is also known as price ending and charm pricing. It is the type of pricing and marketing strategy which is based on the theory that certain prices have a psychological impact. So we all know about Bata, how all their products end with 99.95. Yeah. So customers, for example, simplify the price by ignoring the end figures. So typically a 599 seems more attractive than 600. Okay. Similarly, 50 rupees, something which is 50, is perceived less expensive than more than 50. So 645 will be perceived as less expensive than 660 rupees. Yes, anything which is less than 50 rupees, 99, these kind of, the sound of those numbers or digits in the mind of the customers will make the prices seem more attractive than they normally are. And so the dollar shop pricing, everything is for $1, but normally it's not for $1 only. Such kind of pricing which is done only to appeal in the minds of the customer is called as psychological pricing. And now we come to one of the very popular and the last method we'll talk about here is the product bundling pricing. Bundling means that the seller combines a lot of his products offering together and sells at a much reduced price. So he's putting together 5, 6, 7 types of products that he's selling, and he makes this offering as one to the customer. And this is reduced price, the customer is happy. So product bundling price typically in our industry again is very useful. For example, any kind of package you go for, where you have lunch free, dinner free, pickup free, complimentary drink, unlimited alcohol, any kind of package is product bundling pricing. It's very good because it's lucrative looking, value looking for the customer, and the seller is able to sell many of his products. So he's retaining the customer to sell not just one of his goods, but multiple products that he has for offering. Package is a very good way of explaining the bundling pricing strategy. With this, we come to the end of this particular session, and I'll see you in class. Till then, take care.